Streaming all across the country, from Washington State to South Beach and the Northeast to the deserts of Arizona, to dive into all things football. You're listening to the B&E Podcast. Here's your hosts, Ed Donaldson and Brandon Simpson.
We're back, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Breaking the Interim Podcast. I'm Ed. That's Brandon. Let's get into this Week 10 recap. Brandon, how we doing today, sir?
We're doing good, man. Victory Tuesday for us. Feeling good. How about yourself?
Yeah, must be nice. I'm at the point now where I kind of going to get back to start watching the Red Zone again because, watching this team, my team, the Commanders, is just Lord. But we'll get into that. Let's get into this opening drive, though, shall we?
All right, everyone, a lot to unpack. Brian Daboll has been fired by the Giants, but Joe Sheen, he stays on as GM. Matt Kafka, former Kansas City Chief assistant coach, he will serve as an interim head coach. He is their offensive coordinator. Jaguars are expected to play the 2027 season in Orlando as their new stadium, their current stadium undergoes a $1.4 billion renovation. ESPN reports Asante Samuel Jr., he will sign with the Steelers. Fox Sports reports Jair Alexander is stepping away from football to get himself physically and mentally ready before making the decision on his future. Broncos linebacker Alex Singleton, he had surgery for testicular cancer. Excuse me, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. No word exactly on how long he will be out for. Jets wideout Garrett Wilson has a sprained knee. He'll be sidelined 3 to 4 weeks. Texans have lost safety MJ Stewart for the season to a quad injury. Travis Hunter, he's now out for the season after surgery on his right knee. Deron Payne, Commanders defensive lineman, he's been suspended 1 game for punching Amon-Ra St. Brown. Commanders head coach Dan Quinn, he's also taking over defensive play calling duties. Rob Gronkowski, he plans to retire as a member of the Patriots on Wednesday. The Cowboys plan to honor Marshawn Kneeland with helmet decals for the rest of the season. The team also plans to wear T-shirts against the Las Vegas Raiders and Philadelphia games later this year. Antonio Brown, he is pleaded not guilty to murder. Former Ravens kicker Justin Tucker has served his suspension. He's now free to sign with any NFL team. And rest in peace to former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue. He is dead at the age of 84. I have a lot of respect for Tagliabue. He helped bring the Browns to the Baltimore. He was part of that process back in 1995, 1996. Probably more of my favorite than Roger Goodell. I did like Paul Tagliabue from the time we had him as NFL commissioner. Any thoughts on this opening drive, Ed?
Yeah, rest in peace to former commissioner. I think he was the commissioner up to 2006. I listened to a lot of NFL radio. I got Sirius XM, so I'll be listening on the way to work and stuff. And they were giving him a lot of tributes and just explaining how important he was to the league, as he mentioned his dealings with the Baltimore franchise and everything. So rest in peace to him. Interested to see what the defense for my Commanders are going to play now that you mentioned Dan Quinn is taking over decent defensive play calling duties. Unless he's going out there to play linebacker or something too. I don't know how much more he can improve that, but we'll see how it goes. Also, rest in peace to Marshawn Kneeland. Tough situation there for them. Like I said earlier on the other show, just prayer to his family and the Cowboys too, man. That's tough. Lose a teammate like that. I know the locker rooms be close and everything, so that's a tough loss too. And then the Deron Payne suspension, man, I think is total bullshit. I'm going to be honest with you, because if you look at Deron Payne's Instagram, he releases a video of the entire situation, and Amon-Ra St. Brown hits him first. He swings on him, and the ref is right there, and nothing gets called. So I completely understand Deron Payne smacking him back in the face, and it just feel like, Commanders players getting picked on, because like how the ref ain't gonna say nothing. If you watch a video, you'll see Amon-Ra St. Brown, the ref is within basically arm's length of those two when that little situation, scuffle happens, whatever you want to call it, and the ref don't decide to throw a flag on Amon-Ra St. Brown, but Deron Payne strikes back. That whole stupid rule is of the, we get the second person instead of the first person is bullshit. But yeah, That's all I got to say about that. And hopefully, Travis Hunter too. Hopefully, comes back healthy for next year. And same for Alex Singleton. Hope that surgery gets rid of all the cancer down there too.
Good game in Berlin, everyone. Sunday morning, the Colts and Falcons went to overtime, and Indianapolis secured their 8th win of the year.
Mama, there goes that man. That's the type of performance Jonathan Taylor had, boy. I mean, I don't even think this was the best game of his career either, or a game as a Colt. It's just crazy what he was doing out there. Daniel Jones, he's starting to look like Daniel Jones of the Giants, and not in a good way. 3 fumbles. He only had 1 fumble loss, but he's fumbling the ball a lot. He had another interception. I think this is like the second game in a row where he's like turned the ball over, had fumbles. So it's not looking good, but fortunately this time he's on a much better team, and the team is finding ways to win games. Him and Jonathan Taylor and this rookie sensation tight end Tyler Warren are doing great things out there. Jonathan Taylor, man, he put the team on his back. That 83-yard run he had looked like something out of Madden. It was just crazy. And as far as the Falcons, man, I mean, the defense had 7 sacks, but Michael Penix only had 12 completions. 6 of them went to Drake London. I think a couple more went to Kyle Pitts, who dropped the pass in the first half. Potentially, he could have ran it for a long game because it hit him in stride, just bounced off his hands. And it's just, man, it's frustrating to watch Kyle Pitts play because either he don't get the ball. When he do get the ball, he drop it, or he don't make most of his opportunities. So it'll be real frustrating to watch Kyle Pitts. I only imagine how it is watching it as a Atlanta Falcons fan. They must be sick of that dude and just his inconsistency. But as far as the Falcons, man, I don't know, man. The Panthers are still in because they lost to the freaking Saints, which I had a feeling. But these Falcons, I just don't know, man. It's just they got the potential, but they just can't bring it to full fruition. So we'll see. But what were your thoughts on this game, Brandon?
Yeah, man. Team win for the Indianapolis Colts offensively. Tyler Warren, Alec Pierce stepped up. Jonathan Taylor, of course, he did JT things. I think he should change his number to number 3 because he's averaging 3 touchdowns a game. I swear every time he turn around, he's got a triple tutty game out there. Defensively, they struggled against Drake London a little bit, but otherwise they held Atlanta's playmakers in check for the most part. They sacked Michael Penix Jr. 3 times, forced a turnover as well. And special teams had 2 big kick returns, really set up the offense for success. Raheem Morris said it best after the game. They had opportunities to win it. They could not stop the run. They failed at covering kicks, and they sucked at converting on 3rd down. Atlanta was 0 for 8 on 3rd down. Just in case y'all didn't know, that is not a recipe to success in the National Football League. Overall, it sucks to see the Colts this good, but I'd rather see them as the top team in the AFC than Kansas City. So I'll deal with it for now.
Gotcha. Before we get started with the rest of the show, this episode is brought to you by Premium, a CBD health and wellness company. Check out their line of CBD-infused products, which are a perfect after-workout refuel for athletes, a pain reliever for weekend warriors, and even a natural sports drink for us armchair quarterbacks. Their featured product is CBD-infused honey, which is a personal favorite of mine, as well as tinctures of mint and natural flavors. They are veteran, women, and minority-owned, so come get some of this sweet invitation and taste the premium difference. Use code BNE for 15% off your order. Their website is premium.com. And now let's get back to our show.
So the Ravens got their first ever win in Minnesota Sunday, a 27-19 victory. I'm going to highlight all the good things we did. Usually I talk about the bad as well, but I'm going to focus on the good. First defensive play of the game, Kyle Hamilton, number 14, a.k.a. Ed Reed Jr., batted the pass down and set the tone defensively. Kind of reminded me of the play I think he made against the Browns last year, the year before at M&T Bank Stadium. He batted up in the air to himself, ran it back for a pick 6. Fortunately, he didn't get that touchdown, but it set the tone there. Minnesota was driving middle of the second quarter. Starks had a great interception in front of Justin Jefferson. young guys really been coming on. He even had the Fox broadcast team kind of tripped up because they was like his first interception of the year. They went to commercial, came back, and realized that it was his second interception. He had also had it's his back-to-back interceptions against Miami on Thursday night and then against Minnesota there on the road. Their opening drive out of halftime, McCarthy picked off again. This time it was Marlon Humphrey. I remember texting you saying he either thought he was guilty of a penalty or something possibly was wrong with him because he kind of just like slowed up after the interception. I don't know, and it could have been a third option. Could have been trying to set up that defense to get his guys out there and block for him, but he ran towards the sideline, got out of bounds. I think he is a little banged up. They said Jettas was the intended target on that one again. Keandre Johnson, another rookie undrafted free agent. He forced a fumble. He forced a fumble on the kickoff after our field goal. After that, Marlon Humphrey interception. He also recovered it as well, gave us the ball back. We needed good plays on special teams, and we did it in this one. Justice Hill scored a touchdown. Mark Andrews scored a touchdown. We got a 2-point conversion as well. Tyler Loop was damn near perfect. He did miss one, I believe, in the 40 range. But overall, 4 for 5 in a very tough place to kick because of their crowd. I got to give hats off to him. Our kickoff coverage and our pass rush showed signs of improvements as well. Rushers had their hands up in the air, batting the balls down quite frequently against J.J. McCarthy, left and right, honestly. I will say this, though. The refs did not help the Vikings at all. They had 8 false starts in their house. That's not necessarily on the refs, but after the game, Minnesota kind of said that our guys were kind of simulating the snap counts or the cadences and stuff. And then they said that 2 of our guys are kind of dancing around before the snap as well, and that kind of played into the guys getting penalized for false starts. Whether it happened or not, I don't know, and I'm not even defending my team because I wasn't there, and you couldn't really hear it either on the broadcast. But another thing, Adam Thielen, he got called for a illegal blindside block in the third quarter, but the pass was incomplete either way. I think that was a little bit of a skeptical call. I could see why Vikings fans were a little, fired up over that one. But the one they were really talking about was just before halftime, Dallas Turner. He got called for personal foul. He drove Lamar Jackson into the ground on a sack. It would have knocked us out of field goal range. Instead, we ended up getting the field goal. I think it was a 1-point lead heading into halftime. He really couldn't shift his weight. And then when they went to the Fox halftime show, Michael Strahan even said, when are we going to get back to the point of realizing that quarterbacks are playing football as well? Like, in my opinion, those calls are always BS. And I'm saying that, again, it was in favor of my team, but I don't like that call right there. Let the guy sack the quarterback. Say they drive into the ground. That's a good play, in my opinion. But overall, a good game for us. Big plays were made when they needed to be made in every phase of the game. We got a big one Sunday afternoon in Cleveland against a really good defense. We got to go get the W there in Cleveland. And I always say it when we go into these Cleveland games late, pretty much October 1st on, it's raining or snowing there. So hopefully it's not raining. We'll see how it goes. Ed, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, another good win for y'all. I think that's 3 in a row. Y'all on the fast track back to top of the AFC North, man. I think y'all I think honestly, by when it's said and done, the end of the season, y'all be back in first place. That's how I see it right now. Y'all are getting healthy on defense. As long as I got Lamar Jackson, that nuclear weapon, as I say, y'all should be good, man. And I was surprised. I was kind of worried that Aaron Jones, the whole Vikings team as a whole was going to be able to run a ball, but y'all didn't really allow that to happen. Like you said, young guys are making plays. Malachi Starks. I texted you too about the Marlon Humphrey interception because Justin Jefferson, I was like, the way he was like running, it was like he was running, but he wasn't running. Like they were both. You were talking about the Marlon, the Humphrey side of things. I was looking at Justin Jefferson like, what's he doing? Is he going to try to tackle him? And that whole situation, how it played out was kind of funny. But yeah, man, good win for the Baltimore Ravens and the Vikings. I don't know. I mean, McCarthy didn't look too bad out there. He did have those interceptions, which are kind of look like this a young player, rookie mistakes. And then this guy Jalen Naylor, he come out of nowhere, had like the best game in his damn career. I'm sure you wasn't too happy when he made the plays he was making. But y'all held it down, y'all got it done, y'all were able to get another win, and that's all that matters. And I think y'all gonna keep getting better and better, barring any type of injuries out there. So salute to the Raiders, man. Good one for you guys.
Two things. I did say this. I didn't want Justin Jefferson to beat us. He's the best player on the team. You never want the best player to beat you. You want somebody else to step up. Jalen Naylor did. Got to give hats off to him. Nate Wiggins really had control of Justin Jefferson for most of the game. It was pretty much Marlon Humphrey. There was the suspect coverage. And then number two, speaking of the AFC North, if Cincinnati beats Pittsburgh on Sunday and we beat Cleveland, we are in first place at the end of week 11. But, of course, we got to handle our business first. Turning the page, everyone. I told y'all the Giants defense would have Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze looking like Hall of Famers, and they did. The Bears handled the Giants 24-20, Ed.
I think they said this was the Giants' fourth straight game where they lost a double-digit lead and ended up blowing the game. I'm sure that had a lot to do with Brian Daboll being fired, especially after that Denver debacle where they gave up 30 points in the fourth quarter and they lost this game, man, or lost that game. Back to this game, though. Oh, my goodness. I mean, Jackson Dart, he going to have to learn, too, because he went out this game with concussion. He going to have to learn, man. Some of these you're going to have to slide because he runs a lot and he takes some contact. I hope he learns this, like Jaden Daniels going to have to learn, hey, you plan to get some real grown men out there and they will do some things to you. You're going to have to learn, either slide, get rid of the ball. You got to protect your body because the way he's playing, he ain't going to last too long in this league. Even though he's been playing well, stat-wise, he ain't gonna last too long in this league, man. You gotta get that under control. But this team is banged up. First, it was Malik Neighbors early in the year blowing his knee out, the torn ACL. You got not my guy, but the running back they lost. Can't think of his name right now. Yep. Broke his ankle a couple weeks ago. I feel bad for him. He's gone. This bunch of young guys who was giving some juice to the team, and then that defense, man, early this year, I was really nervous about that defensive line and just hasn't led to wins. I mean, Brian Burns has been doing his thing. I haven't really heard too much from their pick this year, Abdul Carter. He has made some flash plays here and there, but I haven't heard too much from him. But, yeah, man, just not a good win or not a good game, especially giving up a lead like that. I know Russell Wilson came in. You had a text about him. But the Bears – they finding ways to win games. I'm still not really sold on them, but hey, I mean, they winning games. Rome Odunze, I think, is having a kind of a leap. He's having a kind of a breakout year. He's probably going to get over 1,000 yards this year. He looks kind of like him and DJ Moore kind of go back and forth, but it looks like Rome Odunze is starting to take that transition as a number one receiver going forward. And then DeAndre Swift, man, 80 yards. He was doing his thing out there. They keep that run game intact. Who knows? They could be a team you see in the playoffs maybe. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. But, yeah, good win for the Bears. I'm still disgusted the way – I'm sure they disgusted how they lost last year, but the way we lost this year to them, the Commanders, I mean – God. So I hate the Bears right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Brandon, what are your thoughts?
Reason why you haven't heard much about that Giants defensive line because the back seven can't. Oh my God, they're terrible. They're just.
Can't be worse than Commanders, but yeah.
I don't even want to get started. They right there with y'all. Okay, y'all, Dallas and Washington and New York secondary is just some ass. Okay, they right in the same category. But look, New York, I feel like they had control of this game from the start of the second quarter. They got that touchdown until Jackson Dart went down with that concussion. Again, Dart had a pair of rushing touchdowns, including a 24-yarder. But when he went down, it was 5:09 left in the third quarter. They were up 17-7. He fumbled on that play as well. It eventually led to a Bears drive and a field goal. Later in the game, Chicago drove 91 yards on 9 plays. Roma Dunze wide open for a touchdown that made it 20-17. Giants still were on top at that point. Of course, Russ and the Giants got the ball back. The offense could not do anything on that opposing drive. Only managed to burn 1 minute, literally just over a minute of game clock, 3 and out. Had to punt it back. Bears get the ball back. 4 plays, 53 yards later, they're in the end zone thanks to that Caleb Williams quarterback keeper. Went damn near untouched into the end zone. The Giants have struggled at stopping the run on the outside, and it showed again. Swift took it full advantage of it. So did Caleb Williams on that final touchdown as well. Again, they just could not get anything going without Jackson Dart. You're right. Him, Cam Sketabo, those two guys. You mentioned more so Dart needs to learn how to get down and stuff and stop taking hits. Cam Sketabo, we understand you want to be a physical runner. That's in your nature and stuff. But again, you're in grown man's league now. You can't be taking these type of penalties if you want to help. I mean, those type of injuries, if you want to help your team win games and stick around for a while, and you want to be the lead guy as you head into your second year once he comes back off of injury and stuff and, years on. And Jackson Dart as well. You want to be the franchise guy. Learn how to slide, man. Learn how to get away from those hits. It's not going to always happen. You can't always avoid those type of hits, but you got to make smart plays with the football to where you're out there on every play as much as possible. So, yeah, good win for the Chicago Bears. New York 0-6 on the road right now. Yeah, just terrible.
All right. I was displeasantly surprised, whatever the word is, the opposite of pleasantly, about this game. Patriots beating the Bucks 28-23. Brandon, what were your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, man, one score a quarter was enough for the Patriots to take down the Bucks there at Raymond James Stadium on Sunday. The story of the game to me was big plays, not just chunk plays, but those wow plays. You had Baker to Ibuka on the first drive. It was his first touchdown drive since week 5. Drake May to Kyle Williams, 72-yard touchdown. That was the longest Patriots touchdown in 4 years. You had 4th and goal just before halftime. Stephon Diggs, he had a toe drag swag touch, Nate Burleson type touchdown on the left corner end zone. Henderson, a 55-yard touchdown out of halftime for New England. They completely blew through the hole there. The rookie running back, Ted Johnson for Tampa Bay, he responded himself on the other side of the end zone there in the third quarter. You had the Tampa Bay defender, Tyke Smith. He picked off Drake May in the end zone as well. And then the nail in the coffin, another Henderson touchdown, 68 yards off left tackle. New England, man, they're 4-0 against that NFC South. They are completely done with that division. They ran through it. 8-2, 5-0 on the road. Again, I did not pick Tampa Bay. I was not surprised, though, that New England won. I mean, I picked Tampa Bay, but I'm not surprised that New England won. Not happy, but I'm not surprised. Ed, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I was rooting for the Bucks too. I'm not happy the Patriots won. I'm not a Patriots fan by any stretch of the imagination. You could honestly call me a Patriots hater as it starts back with even Tom Brady. So nothing to do with Drake May or Mike Vrabel or anything. This is a long history of me just sick of the Patriots. So back to this game though. Honestly, man, Travion Henderson had like a breakout party, man. 147 yards on the ground. Like you said, those 2 touchdowns. And Baker Mayfield didn't play too bad. He had 3 touchdowns, but they really didn't run the ball like that. No, they're missing Bucky Irvin, man. I think Sean Tucker was their leading rusher. He had about 53 yards, if I'm not mistaken, and it just wasn't enough. These Patriots, man, it's not every game is one single person doing something. Like this week, it was Matt Collins. Last week, I think it was Demario Douglas. It's like they're finding different guys. It's a committee type thing where they do in the offense where they can find ways to win games. And it's working out well for them. Drake May, even though he did turn over the ball again, he's continuing to improve. I don't think he got sacked too many times this game, which is good for him. Just his longevity. And we'll see. I mean, this is one of the I was talking last week during the preview. I was like, their strength of schedule and the teams they beat during this winning streak is like, oh, you got the Bills, but the rest of these teams is Well, the Bucks was a pretty good team. I think it's going to be in the playoffs. They could be on the downslide now. Who knows? I think they need to get healthy again, especially with the running back Bucky Irvin and crew. But this is definitely a good win, a staple win for the Patriots. And I can't wait for them to play the Bills again because who knows how the Bills look after what Miami did to them. So we'll see. But definitely, again, good win for the Patriots. It looks like they're going to make the playoffs, man. I think they're going to make some noise as the season ends. When they get to the playoffs, who knows? We'll see. A good win for those guys.
Definitely. Time to hand out some awards, everyone. Let's look at the offensive side of the ball. Ed, who you leaning towards?
I think we don't both have to give it to him, but Jonathan Taylor, man, I mean, we talked about it a little bit. 244 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns, had the game-sealing touchdown in overtime, if I'm not mistaken, to win it for the Colts, man. He could be like MVP type candidate. He's definitely having that type of year, leading rusher in NFL too. So Jonathan Taylor is definitely my offensive player of the week. How about you?
I agree with you, but I'm going to go with the guy from Louisville, the quarterback, Tyler Shook, 19 for 27, 282 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was his first career win. Upset the Panthers, by the way. Panthers team that's been but better than years past. And he's the first Saints rookie quarterback to win a game since 1981. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Who you got?
DeMarcus Lawrence, D-line, defensive end for the Seattle Seahawks. This man had 2 touchdowns. It was like back-to-back, if I'm not mistaken, returning the fumbles for scores, and he had a half a sack. He scored more points than a bunch of these teams out here. So DeMarcus Lawrence, my defensive player of the week. Hell of a game. How about you?
I'm a homer. I'm going to go with my entire Ravens defense. We made plays when they needed to be made. They did give up some yards, but Humphrey and Starks, they both had picks. Rowe had an interception that was called back. I still think that was a clean catch, diving to the ground, and then they did some suicides in the end zone, and then just to find out that the booth had reversed the call. But I'm going to mention some guys that are not always in the limelight. Teddy Buchanan, the rookie running back. Travis Jones, big defensive tackle. Gilman, the former Chargers safety we traded for earlier this year. Mike Green, a guy you mentioned earlier in the year that you hadn't heard his name. He's kind of came on as well.
Yeah.
Another undrafted free agent linebacker there making plays. And, of course, the field general himself, Kyle Hamilton. Whenever you look up, he's close to the ball. Let's put it that way. He is always around the ball, damn near. Okay, special teams player of the week. Who you got?
I got to give it to the Jets in general. They had 2 returns for touchdowns, 1 punt return, 1 kick return. So shout out Isaiah Williams and excuse me if I butcher your name, sir, Kene Nwaganu, I believe. Sorry if I butchered that, but the Jets, they pretty much were the reason, in my opinion, they won that game. Those kickoff return, the punt return, the same game against the damn Browns as my special teams of the week. How about you, Brandon?
Homer again. I know he missed a field goal. I'm going to go with my rookie kicker, Tyler Loop. Again, a very tough place to play and kick in those domes. It's not a wind. It's not a weather factor. It's the crowd. They are always hyped up for those games. 4 for 5 field goal, an extra point. Again, a very tough place to play. Tyler Loop, keep it up, young man. He's only missed 2 field goals, knock on wood, so far this year. Bonehead player call of the week.
I was, before I found out this other information about Deron Payne, going to give it to him for slapping Amon-Ra St. Brown upside his helmet. But Jordan Love, the first half last night, you in field goal range, you taking a sack, and you decide to try to throw the ball away, and you end up fumbling the down ball. Yep. Eagles recover, and that pretty much ended the half. I'm like, what are you doing? It was so frustrating watching that game last night. and some of the stuff that the Packers did, drop passes, just play calling. But that fumble that Jordan Love had in the first half was just because they could have kicked a field goal and changed the trajectory of the game, but it's just like, oh my God. So Jordan Love, my bonehead move player of the week, man. How about you?
Quite similar to his bonehead play the week before, to roll out to the left, throwing it all the way across the field to the right side, and the Panthers defender dropped it. He would have had a pick six, probably not 100 some yards pick six. But I'm gonna go with the Minnesota offense. The bonehead plays, man. 8 false starts at home. Again, they were trying to blame us for it. I don't know what happened, but either way, it's in the books under their record. Second most for a home team since 2000. You had 3 by the right tackle, Brian O'Neill, 1 by the left tackle and center. The tight end, Ben Urasek, got 1. Jettas even got 1 as well. Like Oprah Winfrey said, you get a false start. You get a false start. You get a false start. They was left and right, man. One time I was just like, damn, they just got a false start 2 plays ago. It was a false start. A play would go on, and then another false start. I'm like, better y'all than us.
Right. All right, let's talk about some of these other Week 10 games that happened over the weekend. Broncos outlasted the Raiders 10-7 on Thursday Night Football last week. Lions whooped the Commanders. I mean, absolutely beat the shit out of them, 44-22. President Trump was in attendance for part of that game for the Veterans Day celebration. Saints upset the Panthers 17-7. Jets beat the Browns 27-20. Dolphins manhandled the Bills 30-13. Texans finished off the Jaguars in the final seconds 36-29. Seahawks destroyed Arizona 44-22. Rams get their revenge against the 49ers 42-26. Matt Stafford throwing a party against them. Chargers shut down the Steelers 25-10. And Eagles beat the Packers last night, Monday Night Football 10-7. That Texans-Jaguars game, 36-29, that's the first time we had a score of 36-29 NFL history. I think they call it a scoregami game, if I'm not mistaken. But that's the first time there's ever been a score of 36-29. As you said, in the last final seconds, the defender for the Texans, or was it, they ran it back for the touchdown.
Yep.
And they declined to kick the extra point because it would have been 37, but they just let it at 36. So, yeah, that was pretty cool to see. But, Brandon, what were your thoughts on these other scores from Week 10?
Okay, Jets-Browns. New York showed up again for their late center. Nick Mangold played a really good game for him. That's back-to-back wins for the Jets. Kudos to them. Dolphins, Bills, Buffalo, they've shown some issues on both sides of the ball, man. They've let go of this division lead. Of course, they lost it a couple weeks ago. It's just not looking good for them right now. They got a lot of issues. They're even questioning, will Brian Daboll come back there to possibly help the offense? Sean McDermott kind of said no. He doesn't want to add any additions to the offensive staff right now. But I think the defense is, again, just as many problems on that side of the ball as it is the offense. Texans and Jaguars, man, Danielle Hunter and Davis Mills. Hunter, 3.5 sacks, tying a career high, including that strip sack, which his co-worker returned for a touchdown there at the end. You just mentioned it. And then Davis Mills had the play of his career, that touchdown run, 14 yards, stretching out there on the left pylon after a 14-play, 53-yard drive there at the end. Commanders, Lions. I see the reasoning behind Amon-Ra St. Brown's touchdown celebration, but he kind of lost a brownie point with me. We're just going to leave it there at that. And then Chargers, Steelers, man. The Chargers delivered. Simply put, thank you, Los Angeles, for beating the Steelers. Again, since he wins over Pittsburgh on Sunday, if they win, they're in Pittsburgh, and Baltimore beats Cleveland, we get first place at the end of Week 11. Ed, your thoughts on these games?
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is now 0-3 in primetime this year. It could be on Sunday, but I know it's primetime. I saw the stat was. Commanders, man, I mean, like I said last week, I'm going to this game this weekend in Spain. I honestly considering wearing a brown paper bag over my head just because I think the Dolphins is going to beat us too. I can see Jalen Waddle, Devon A-Chain. We ain't got nothing for him, especially now that we got the Ron Payne out. But I could be wrong. You never know. We'll see. These international games, you never know. But yeah, I could be seen with a brown paper bag over my head. Honestly, I'm just done with these clowns. I was watching a little bit of the Rams 49ers game because that was Red Zone was pretty much showing that game because the two other games, Lions Commanders, Arizona, and the Seahawks was a damn blowout. Same score, by the way. It's kind of interesting. But I was watching this game, another multi-score game for Matt Stafford. I think he had 4 touchdowns in that one. As long as he can stay healthy, man, you got to watch out for the Rams. They looking good. And then the Eagles over the Packers. Honestly, man, you see it time and time again with the Eagles when they win these games. And, like, clutch moments, third and whatever, they need a play to happen. They find a way to make a play, man. Devonta Smith, again, he had a big game. He had big plays in this game. He had that touchdown catch. He made some catches on third down, too. I know A.J. Brown really didn't do too much. Saquon Barkley had a good run, or he spun off somebody at the end of the game, too. But Eagles finding the ways to win games. And Packers, man, they just can't get a beat on this team, man. It's like the defense played well. They did. But then the offense, you could tell they missed Tucker Kraft. You know, Josh Jacobs was the only one really doing something. They missed that rookie, Matthew Golden, in my opinion, the rookie wide receiver, because they didn't really have too much as far as pass catchers out there who was, they had a bunch of drop passes themselves last night. And then the damn Panthers, man, I knew they was going to fucking lose to the Saints. I knew it, but I still pick these clowns. I pick against them, they win. I pick them, they lose. Panthers, y'all pissing me off, man. Y'all really are. I should have. Y'all really pissing me off. I can't get y'all right for nothing. And I didn't, honestly, I had a feeling too in my stomach that the Dolphins, I didn't know if they was going to win, but I felt like, I think they're going to make a game out of the Bills. I did not expect them to go out there, Devon A-Chain doing whatever he wanted to against them and beating the Bills 30-13. It could just be a divisional game and, the Bills come back and blow somebody out the water, but it could be a sign of things to come. I'm hoping it's the second option, but we'll see. But yeah, another crazy week of football for week 10, and we'll see what happens. And I got to go to my Wizards real quick. They lost last night to the Detroit Pistons. They 1-10. Cade Cunningham had a 40-point triple-double against us. I mean, as always next year, I guess. I don't know. There was a nice highlight from Cam Whitmore, Baltimore native, had a dunk on a driving baseline. But, yeah, my Wizards, man. Washington sports in general. Lord help us, please. That's all I got.
And my basketball team, Miami Heat, I think we're third in the East, but it is early. We're looking on and off. We had a good buzzer beater last night.
Yeah, that was good. Andrew Wiggins.
I can't remember who it was, who we
Andrew
played
Wiggins.
against. Yeah, I can't remember who we played
Cleveland.
against. Cleveland, thank you. And we play tomorrow night, so we'll see how it goes. And then real quick, back to the Packers, man. They might need to consider getting a kicker. I know Brandon McManus has been banged up. I mentioned to y'all either the last show or the show before he missed 2 field goals or 4 field goals. I think he's missed 4 all season entering last night. Then he had that one that was way out to the west. I don't know where he was going. I know they said the snap was bad and everything. It kind of looked like it got blocked, but yeah, they may need to consider trying to get somebody. I know that Younghoe Koo, I think, signed with the Giants before Sunday. Justin Tucker, and I'm not trying to get my old kicker a job, but should be in consideration. Somebody, they got to consider something because Brandon McManus has been putting this team in very sticky situations when you need him to make those plays. Again, I mentioned it, heading into week 10 week 11 this week that, they got down in the end zone. They needed to run the ball with Josh Jacobs because they can't rely on their kicker. So something got to be done there on special teams, man. The GM, coach, y'all got to figure something out, or either have a long talk with Mr. McManus and say, get it together for sure.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. That's going to do it for our Week 10 recap show. We're going to take Friday off. Ed's going to watch the Commanders game. So we'll be back next Tuesday for our Week 11 review show. In the meantime, please hit the subscribe button on your screen. Follow us on X at Podcast BNE and on IG at BNE Podcast. Thanks for your support. We'll see you soon. Until next time, love one another.
Peace.